Most seniors want to live out the golden years in the comfort of their own home, but their homes have several hazards that are lurking and are making their homes unsafe. Think about the inside of your parents' home and think of all the hazards that are there, like the stairs, showers, shiny floors, dark areas, hard to reach items. There are so many things, and considerable effort, planning, and sometimes cost is involved in safeguarding your parents' home to help prevent accidents. Now, before you call in the handyman or start tedious do-it-yourself projects to safeguard your home, you should talk with your loved one. You want to make sure that they are on board with continuing to live in their home, making the necessary changes, and the potential of needing in-home care as they age. Now, this is also an appropriate time to explore the various senior living communities that are available to you. And this is a good time to get the conversation going early so that everyone knows the challenges that are present when you're trying to stay in a particular home. And the fact is, there are only so many things one can do to a house. I mean, it's still going to be fundamentally the shape and size of what it is. So if you have 2 stories, if you have a large walkway or driveway or stairs up to the home, these things are not necessarily going to be easy to fix. So the fact is, these things should be discussed if you're planning on helping your loved one age in place. So now let's discuss things by the order of difficulty and expense to create a safe environment for your loved one. So let's look for safety hazards, particularly trip hazards. This might seem obvious and simple, but according to the CDC, there are about 36 million falls reported amongst older adults each year. So that's going to result in 32,000 deaths. And 1 in 5 of those falls is going to result in a major injury, such as a broken bone or a head injury. These types of accidents are increasing and are a genuine concern. So to help minimize these types of accidents, first you want to declutter and remove unnecessary furniture and other objects that might impact mobility to create clear pathways. Make sure the furniture that's left works with the mobility aids that your senior might be using, such as wheelchairs and walkers. So now let's address things like throw rugs and curling rugs. You can get rid of them altogether, or you can secure them with double-sided tape or non-slip pads that you can put underneath them. Secure cords and wires. You can also address trip hazard areas such as dimly lit areas, particularly hallways and staircases. So you can consider using higher watt bulbs or even just LEDs, which are going to be a lot brighter. And you can also put in some night lights. These are the kind of things that you can do to kind of decrease the chance of falls. In the bathroom, install no-slip strips in the bathtub and the shower, and make sure that all smoke detectors are up to date and have good batteries in them. Also, clearly label things that could be dangerous, such as chemicals. So if your research into helping your loved one age in place is turning out to be more than you or your family can deal with, there are links in the comments where we can help you get in touch with various senior housing options and real estate professionals in your area. So now for the more moderate items to implement. So these are things that are gonna really involve a little money and possibly a handyman to implement. So most accidents in the house happen in the bathroom, and we can thank the CDC for this information as well. So of course, many of the things that we're going to recommend here are going to be things for the bathroom. First thing is to replace the 15-inch toilets with 20-inch toilets. The rate of injuries that occur on or near a toilet go up exponentially as we age. So this can be a relatively easy fix, depending on if you're going to do it or if a handyman's going to do it. So you're probably going to be looking at about $300 to $500 for each toilet. You're also going to want to install handrails and grab bars. So make sure that handrails are on both sides of the stairs, not just on one if possible. And then you're going to want to put handrails everywhere throughout the house where there are stairs. And these can be kind of hidden areas, like going up in the garage. And of course, anywhere like basements, outside if you're stepping out into any particular area. And this is kind of one of those things where you have to look around. There's little areas in homes where you just have a couple of steps and they can be disastrous, and we don't always think of them. We just kind of take them for granted. It's going to also be a good idea to install grab bars in the bathroom, at the toilet, the shower, the bath, all of those areas. There's also helpful devices you can purchase. So if the home has bathtubs, you can get transfer benches, and that's going to help someone get into the bath, of course, or shower chairs. You can also purchase things like a lift chair. Those are going to be helpful not only for your senior, but also for caretakers, because if they're having trouble getting out, sometimes people will hurt themselves helping another person. So you can also purchase things like lift desks. Sometimes they're called standing desks that electronically move up, and those can be used really well with things like wheelchairs, or if somebody's having a lot of back problems and back pain. You can also get an adjustable bed, and this is something that you can get where it just lifts up the head so somebody can swing their legs out of the bed and have an easier time getting out. Now, I want to say here too a little bit more about beds, especially if you're thinking about upgrading a bed. So you can get at the retail level a $400 lift bed, just going to lift the head. That's not the mattress. And it's going to be helpful for people who are struggling to get out of bed in the morning. Now, it does not have to be a big investment. However, keep in mind, if your loved one will be moving to an assisted living in the near future, perhaps you're just waiting, you might want to speak to the community, because generally the largest bed that's going to fit in those places is going to be a full-size bed, because there are very stringent restrictions for assisted living communities around having space for medical equipment. So you should consider calling there if you're going to be investing any amount of money, particularly if you're looking into more advanced medical beds, because what you're going to find at the retail area, they're going to lift the head. Sometimes you can get head, foot, massage, other functions. However, medical beds will actually lift up and down. They're going to be a significant investment, although some people will choose to just rent them. You should really speak to that community if you're going to make a sizable investment in a medical bed in particular, or if you're going to be changing the size of the bed and whatnot. Okay, so there are other expensive upgrades that you could also make at this point. Again, these are things you're going to make if you're going to be long-term committed to actually keep your senior aging in place. So another thing that you might want to put in there would be a ramp. These are things that people will obviously put in if somebody's going to be in a wheelchair. However, the price can vary a lot. There are some do-it-yourself ramps, but if it's something that you need to be more permanent, maybe you have a more elaborate entryway, they're looking at somewhere between $3,000 and $10,000 for an aluminum ramp, and you're generally going to run way more if you're going to put in something in wood. The next thing you might consider is just replacing all the bathtubs. So we've discussed using grab bars, transfer benches, shower chairs. Sometimes it's just preferable to get rid of the bathtub altogether, or you could just put in a walk-in bathtub. So these are going to be extensive repairs, and they're generally going to cost somewhere about $5,000 to $10,000. And if you want a more luxurious item or a more luxurious makeover, you're going to easily get up to $20,000 plus. So that's something to keep in mind. But these kind of upgrades are meant to keep your senior more independent. They're going to provide privacy, ease of use, and it might be the upgrade that makes the quality of living so much better, it's worth repairs. And they're generally going to cost somewhere about $5,000 to $10,000. And if you want a more luxurious item, ease of movement, those are going to cost about $1,000 to $3,000 a piece. So as I said earlier, if your research into helping your loved one age in place is turning out to be more than you and your family are willing to take on, we have links in the comment where we can help you get in contact with various senior housing options or real estate professionals in your area. Now, this is not an all-inclusive list of updates and changes that you can make to help your loved one age in place. I would love to hear from you in the comments below if you think there's something I have missed, or if there's something that's really worked well for you. My name is Melissa Halter. Thank you for watching.